Welcome back, everyone, to today's Explainer. I am genuinely so pumped you're here because we're unpacking a concept today that is quietly but absolutely radically reshaping the future of tech right under our noses. We're pulling this core premise directly from Anand Vemula's Tech Horizon, and it tackles a massive foundational shift in how we actually think about computing. We aren't just talking about smarter software anymore. We're talking about creating an entirely new digital infrastructure from the ground up. Okay, let's dive into this. Why AI agents need an operating system. It's a profound statement, right? It implies that the artificial intelligence we're building today is actually outgrowing the very containers we currently use to run it. It suggests that just like personal computers needed Windows or Mac OS to become truly useful, the next generation of AI requires a completely new foundational layer just to operate effectively. Take a second and really think about that. What does an operating system for artificial intelligence actually look like? It's kind of a crazy conceptual mystery, isn't it? I mean, we're so used to operating systems that manage a mouse, a keyboard, a monitor, all built for a human user. But what happens when the user isn't human? What happens when the system is managing digital entities that literally think, act, and make decisions entirely on their own? Keep that thought in the back of your mind as we unpack the rest of this. Section 1. Defining the AI agent, the new inhabitants. So before we can even begin to understand this new infrastructure, we absolutely have to define who's going to live in it. The absolute bedrock of this whole concept is the AI agent. By definition, this is an autonomous system designed to actively pursue and achieve specific goals. And we need to make a clear distinction here. This is fundamentally different from the everyday AI chatbots you might be used to. A typical chatbot is reactive. It just sits there, waiting for you to type a prompt, and then it generates a response. An AI agent, though, that's a proactive, independent digital worker. You give it a high-level goal, and it goes off and figures out the actual steps to get there on its own. Let's actually break down the anatomy of that independence. First up, we have goal-oriented behavior, which basically means the agent doesn't need you to hold its hand for every single microstep. Second is autonomy in decision-making. If it hits a roadblock, it can pivot. It evaluates its options and chooses a completely new path without having to stop and ask for your permission. And third, the ability to utilize external tools. We're talking browsing the web, opening a spreadsheet, pinging an API. It's incredibly capable. Though obviously handing a newly birthed AI the keys to your actual credit card to buy server space comes with its own fairly obvious set of dangers. Section 2. The problem of isolation. The friction reality. Okay, so we've got these brilliant, capable, totally autonomous agents. But what exactly happens when multiple independent agents try to operate in a traditional computing environment without any unifying structure? Well, in a word, chaos. It's a disaster. Step 1, an agent attempts a complex multi-stage task. Step 2, it completely hits a brick wall because it lacks shared memory access. It has zero idea what another agent just did 5 seconds ago, so it ends up duplicating work or pulling completely outdated data. Then, step 3 brings clashes over tool usage. Imagine 2 agents trying to write data to the exact same file. Or worse, Agent A is trying to book a hotel while Agent B decides to freeze the credit card for suspicious activity at the exact same millisecond. It's a total traffic jam. Which inevitably leads us to step 4, isolated failure. The task completely collapses. And not because the AI wasn't smart enough, but because the environment just wasn't built to coordinate it. Section 3. Enter the AI OS, the central system. And this brilliantly illustrates the necessary evolution for artificial intelligence that Anand Vemula is pointing us toward. To solve that chaos of isolation, we have to introduce a central nervous system for these digital workers. It's a total paradigm shift. On one side, you have the traditional operating system, Windows, Linux, Mac OS. Its entire job is basically to manage physical hardware. It makes sure your web browser gets enough RAM and your games get enough CPU power. But then, look at the other side. The AI OS isn't managing hardware at all, it's managing AI agents and their tasks. Its version of RAM is actually the shared memory context between different AI models. Its hardware management is really tool allocation, ensuring Agent A has access to the search tool while Agent B is busy writing code, completely preventing those hilarious but disastrous collisions we literally just talked about. Which brings us to the real core function of this new layer, AI orchestration. That's the magic word here. Orchestration is the central management of memory, tool allocation, and communication between multiple distinct AI agents. I like to think of the AI OS as the ultimate symphony conductor. It makes absolutely sure that the research agent passes its notes seamlessly to the writing agent, who then hands off the draft to the editing agent,
all while sharing one single continuous stream of memory. It completely eliminates all that friction and those tool conflicts. That isolated failure we talked about, it gets entirely replaced by coordinated success.
So the crucial point is this. An operating system for AI is not just some neat theoretical concept. It is the unavoidable, strictly necessary next step in our technological evolution. Like Anand Vemula's framework suggests, there's just no way we can scale artificial intelligence into reliable enterprise-grade workforces if they're all just floating around in isolation. We have to build the horizon they operate on, and the AI OS is exactly that horizon. Which leaves us with one final, genuinely fascinating thought to ponder. If we successfully build this incredible new infrastructure, if AI gets its own dedicated, highly complex operating system just to manage its own autonomous agents, who is the actual user? Are we still the users, just kind of pulling the strings from above? Or does the AI OS itself become the primary user of the computing power, while we simply become the beneficiaries of its automated labor? It's a massive, profound shift in the entire human-computer dynamic. Thank you so much for joining me for this explainer. Keep asking these big questions, and I'll catch you next time.